Welcome, my friends. Seven Gray here. I hope you're all having a fantastic day out there, enjoying your time on YouTube, and that you get away from YouTube and get away from your computer or your phone or whatever you're watching this on. Go outside, enjoy some fresh air. You can do that after this video, of course. About a week ago, I did a video, part one of this series, on how to ferment Jun. That's J-U-N. I think it's pronounced Jun instead of June, but I could be wrong on that. Just a disclaimer, I am new to all of this stuff. In fact, today I'm doing the second ferment of Jun, and I've never done a second ferment before, so lots of things could go wrong. I might be doing it totally wrong. I welcome your feedback and comments because I'm trying to learn. The reason I'm doing this video is because there's not a lot of information on how to do Jun or kombucha inside of a moving vehicle, a camper, a van, an RV, anything like that. So I wanted to try to do this myself while in a vehicle moving around. It's a fantastic book, which I talked about before with Tara from Fermentation on Wheels. She wrote a book about doing this in a schoolie, in a school bus while she's traveling the United States. So there's a great book on this, but not much in the way of video. So that's why I'm doing the video. Over here I have Jun in this 1 gallon container on this side and kombucha in the 2 gallon container over here. So the first thing I want to do is measure the pH level. So I'm trying to get it down between 2.8 and 3.2. 3.0 is like fabulous, perfect, at least scientifically speaking. You can also just go by taste when the first ferment's done. So you do your first ferment, let it sit there for a number of days until this pH level reaches this level, or it's to whatever taste you like. This is my pH tester here. I bought this off of Amazon. I'll put a link below in case you're interested in this particular one. It's an electronic unit. You can also do these with little paper strip tests, which is the old school way of doing it. You just basically turn it on and stick it into the liquid, and it tells you a number. Okay, that's in the Jun, and it's showing 2.9. So it's somewhere between 2.9 and 3.0, which is fabulous. That's absolutely perfect for doing a second ferment. So the question you probably have is, why do a second ferment? What is that all about? Why is a first ferment not good enough? And the answer to that is, the first ferment is good enough if you like that particular flavor. The benefits and the reason typically to do the second ferment is for two reasons. One, to add a special flavoring. You want to put strawberry, peach, you want to make apricot, pears, whatever, some sort of fruity flavor that you want to add to it, or maybe some spices, something like that. So that's sort of the flavoring stage. You can do that early on, but it's typically done in the second ferment. The second reason is actually the main reason that you want to do a second ferment, and that is to get carbonation. Make it more like a soda, so you get that bubbly, fizzy kind of an experience. So that's the basic big reason to do the second ferment. The way you get carbonation is you buy these bottles. So any sort of a sealed bottle, you can actually use a jar glass as long as it has a locking sealing lid. This particular lid here is a sealing lid on it, so I could do a second ferment in here. It just has the big thing is you have to be able to have a locking lid to get it completely vacuum sealed to be able to develop the carbonation. Think about sodas and how they develop carbonation if you actually lock them up and shake them and stuff like that. So basically what I want to do is add some flavoring to this and pour this with the little spigot into these and then let it sit for another couple of days. The big trick with this is every 12 to 24 hours you want to pop the lid on these to let out a little bit of that carbonation type stuff. Otherwise there's a potential after a number of days for this to develop so much pressure that it'll actually explode. And again, this ferment is going to be done at room temperatures, just out in the open. And once it's done, after you've reached the carbonation level that you want, then you put them in the refrigerator. And that's how you stop the fermentation. You put everything on hold, and then they're in storage until you decide you want to drink them. And that's basically the entire process. You can choose a variety of kinds of flavors to give to your kombucha or Jun. Typically it's going to be something fruity, You could do, I don't know, peaches, apricots, things like that. Yesterday I went dumpster diving with Giuseppe and got some nice pears here. And so I'm going to do these with the pear. Why not? So I'm going to do 3 bottles with the pear and see what it tastes like. Just a disclaimer here, I have never cut up a pear before in my entire life. This is my first time. The goal here is actually just to get the slivers of the pear down through the bottle neck and into the bottle. And I don't need much, maybe a quarter of a pear in each one. So that's all I know. I don't really know how to cut up a pear. I'm just making this up as I go along. So now all 3 bottles have some pear slices in it. I think that should be good enough. I just have to add the Jun juice into here and seal them up and wait a few days. Well, I just ran into my first roadblock in that this particular spigot is a weird rectangular shape instead of round, and so it's too wide to fit the bottle under. Whereas the other spigot is perfectly round and fits inside of the bottle top perfectly, and so it would work nice. So that's sort of a problem. I'm going to have to get a funnel to overcome this and then eventually swap out this spigot so that I can get a round spigot to make my life way, way easier. I think I've come up with a workaround solution. I took a plastic cup that I had and I just bent it to where it has a sharper edge on one edge. And then I'm filling this cup from the dispenser here and then pouring into the bottle. It's a little bit slow and cumbersome, but it works. So here's the bottle. Just go and fill this. And then I just pour it in slowly. Not exactly fast, but right now I'm out in the middle of nowhere on BLM land trying to do this. So, you know, this is improvised. I can't go just get a funnel because I don't have one and nobody around me has one. Well, 1 bottle is full. This is looking pretty gorgeous with the fruit floating in here, all sort of golden color. It's quite the yummy looking drink. The last step is just to put this little cap on here and seal this up and let it sit for a few days. So now I just need to let these breathe about every 12 hours to 24 hours just to release the carbonation pressure. More often if it's hotter out, if it's cooler out, maybe less often. Wait 2-3 days and just pop them up and see how the carbonation's doing. And somewhere between 2 and 4 days they'll be carbonated enough, ready to drink. And you can put them in the refrigerator to store them till whenever you want to drink them, or just drink them right away. That's all I have for this episode. Thank you for watching. Savor the moment, or some Jun. See you next episode.